Hi everyone. I represent my class to introduce you the main point or the main topic of this video. We are the class from English Education Program from Semarang State University in majoring subject second language acquisition with Mrs. Puji Astuti as our lecturer. And this video compilation is about research and experience-based practical ideas for making rich comprehensible input available in EFL Classroom. Each class participant will deliver their important ideas, suggestions, and advices. Please check it out.
One way to acquire language is through comprehensible input, where the message is meaningful for the acquirer. We acquire language when we understand what people talk to us. Mafufa stated that to master and acquire second language, the key is enjoyable the learning process. By using the effective method, create a learning system and patience. There are various tools that can be used to acquire language, such as watching television, watch interesting channel in YouTube, listening to the podcast, read a book, make some gold lists, and then by using chart and etc. Based on us, the use of movie talk, it makes interesting learning with relevant comprehensible input. I believe as a teacher, you can choose the right method and tools for the acquirers. Thank you.
In acquisition, teachers and students are responsible to find important tools which can manage and increase the input in language acquisition in order to help them processing language of information in daily or real conversation. Second, teachers and students may use enjoyable tools as language acquisition input based on its condition, because every student has their different ways of acquiring language according to their needs, passion, and interest. Common tools may be used in formal education, for example, in schools or courses, or maybe you can use it in individual acquisition, for example, like using handmade flashcard, grammar notes, using media social application, vocabulary statistical application, or speaking with natives.
Hi, I'm Nabila Molida, and the comprehensible input will depend almost entirely on the individual learner. So motivate your students to get more things to learn a new language. Give them stimuli and also feedback. Help your students trying to find the best method to get a new language by watching videos on YouTube, listening podcasts, and also listening music. Thank you.
Available in English as a foreign language classroom. As we know that basically, to be successful in teaching process, every teachers need to find the ways to make the subject matter interesting, and the students engage in hands-on authentic learning, because English language teacher should provide the learner with
The input hypothesis is Krashen's attempt to explain how the learner acquires a second language. It is only concerned with acquisition, not learning. If students receive enough comprehensible input, they will be provided with just what they need. Also, the ability to produce language is the result of getting comprehensible input. They do not learn to speak by speaking. Speaking is the result of acquisition, not the cause.
As we know that input is very important for the students when they want to learn foreign language. Input can be done by listening, reading, from our explanation as an English teacher, or many other ways. But we have to keep in mind that output is also important for them, because they will not be able to implement the language, to implement the knowledge they got from us if they are not practicing it. So we have to give them time, we have to give them opportunities to finally deliver their product. It can be in the form of text, it can be in the form of utterances or in conversation. And when they finish doing so, we can give them another input, which is correction.
Hello everyone! Hello EFL teachers! I'm Nurul Septiani. For EFL teachers, you have to be smart in directing the learners to find the right way and according to their needs. And also can provide the opportunities for learners to find their own way to learn languages. For example, learning from informal real-world environment, such as speaking with native speakers. It can be through social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or the others. Or find interesting content in YouTube for any languages. Well, you have to create the fun learning atmosphere in the classroom. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi audience, me Prahita Isnaini will give some comment to EFL teacher about practical ideas in teaching. First, before writing on the board or having students read, let us introduce the sound first. Then, the teacher always uses the competition method to test whether the child have memorized or mastered vocabulary. The teacher must have creativity. The teacher must be good at applying the right methods in teaching. Besides that, the saturation and the monotonous state that we get, in the end, we will not be able to get maximum results. Thank you.
Hi EFL teachers, did you know that the output has important role to acquire and to improve students' second language, such as doing conversation with native speakers? So, let students to speak anything, even though the student make a lot of mistakes. It is one of the right way or the method for students to get the feedback. So, the input in providing student second language is more perfect. The input will very benefit for the student because the student directly interaction with native speakers. So the input itself is like the student get many new vocabularies using proper grammatical and accent and etc. So as a teacher, let students to enjoy and to find their own way or the method to acquire their second language. Thank you so much.
Comparing your student to other students will not solve anything. There is not always the same way in acquiring second language. The way that students acquire in their second language doesn't always look the same for another students. But the key to success in teaching second language is you have to believe in your student that your student has their own uniqueness in acquiring second language. So you can divide and arrange methods that can be used according to the criteria of each student. And in the end of the day, they can achieve their second language.
The theories of Stephen Krashen, known as the input hypothesis, suggested that language acquisition is driven by comprehensible input or language input that learners can understand. In line to the theory, polyglot had experienced that actual speaking on the part of the language acquirer will affect the quantity of input people direct at the learner and quality of input direct to the acquirer. This concept has been supported by research about authentic language input through audiovisual technology and second language acquisition conducted by Bahrani and Tam, which had found that in any form of language acquisition, input is essential for the success.
Hi, EFL teacher. I will share about theory, research, and experience best practical ideas for making rich, comprehensible input available in EFL Classroom. In the point of characteristic of optimal input for acquisition, Krashen in 1983 defined that optimal input should be comprehensible, be interesting and relevant, not be grammatically sequenced, and be in sufficient quantity. Everybody have unique ways to learn language. There are 4 ways to learn language. Enjoy the learning process, find effective method, set a system, and last we have patience with the process. Comprehensible input be central to acquiring a second language, concerning the nature and source of this type of input and the role of the second language classroom. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rahmawati Hidayah. I would like to give you some tips about the English language teaching. As a teacher, in order to make our students acquire the learning accurately, we must not put them in their defensive state. They must feel enjoy and relaxed during the learning. And as a teacher, it is our job to provide them with the tools that they needed. Every student have different characteristics, so we must think of a tool that will provide each of their needs, even to modify our learning in the class. That's all from me. Thank you.
And that brings us to the end. Please make sure you hit the like button. On behalf of Kelas Khusus 1, I would like to say thank you for your time and attention. Don't forget to stay safe and stay healthy. Sayonara!